Paul, a great win on Friday night. Are there any injury concerns coming out of the game?
It was a great win. It was great just to get over play interstate. We've now got a 2-2 record, win-loss interstate, so we've got West Coast over in Perth in a few weeks' time to see if we can get on the positive side of the ledger. So look, a lot of positive things to come out of that second half. But we did have an injury, and that was Ben Howlett, and he was subbed off around about half-time as a result of a side strain just to the side of his body. He was pretty sore, and he was pretty sore the next day. But today, when he came in, they were a lot more positive. He feels a lot better. His range of movement was quite good. So we're hopeful that he'll be available this week. It's no certainty, but we're hopeful that he will be available. It's not a soft tissue strain or something along those lines. So I think there's a bit of a better positive feel about him.
And will Joe Watson and David Myers be available to play this weekend?
Oh, we'd hope so, and I think everyone out there would love to see Job and David back playing. They've both now missed 3 weeks. They're both stepping up their training this week, so that's the key. Their program's really been stepped up really since late last week through to this week. They've got to make sure they get through that training. It's going to be full intensity training for a full week. If they get through that and don't have any problems, they'll both be available. So we've got our fingers crossed with both those boys.
And how is Andrew Wells tracking with his training?
Yeah, he's going along fine. He's still another week or 2 away. So, but he's tracking. He hasn't had any setbacks at this stage, so that's good.
And what is the update with Sam Lonergan following his recent surgery?
Yeah, no, Sam, successful surgery. He's the swelling's all gone down, so they're happy with things. But yeah, he won't play again this year. So it's just now a matter of monitoring, rehab, and just being diligent with everything he does. And he's that sort of person. He will be diligent. Yeah.
And how are Anthony Long and Darcy Danaher progressing with their recoveries?
Yeah, well, I suppose those 2 young men are been the most difficult ones for this year, and they've rarely played, and it's been really difficult. Darcy's had a further operation. I suppose that's bad news, but it's also good news in that they think they've identified some things that they weren't aware of, and it's the sort of thing. It's in the hip region, and you only know about it when you actually get in there and play around as the surgeons did, and they discovered a few things which they hope will really help him in terms of longer term recovery. And Anthony is recovering, from the hamstring situation at the moment. The last bout of surgery, which was a little while ago now, he's on a rehab program. He's unlikely to play this year. It's almost a week by week thing to see if we can just continue step him up. But we hope that he's able to come back and show that he's got his hamstrings up to playing again, before the year's finished.
And obviously a big rivalry game against Carlton this weekend.
Yes, we love playing Carlton. It's one of those games, one of those teams that you love to play against. The rivalry is really high. It has been for a long time, but probably even more pronounced in probably over the last 15 years, I would say. But both clubs love playing each other. We've had some great games too, and we had one earlier in the year with a draw. So let's hope we have that sort of game again. But hopefully we can tip the scales in favour of us this time.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.